Here's a video response to your wheelchair access question. This is the rig that I'm selling. It's an 86. This is the rig that I'm keeping. It's an 84. This one has an extended rear deck, which could be modified real easily to put a drive-on scooter or whatnot. The doors on these, I have a tape measure in hand here. They're not going to be wide enough for a typical wheelchair, but one of those mobile, portable ones that squeeze up or something like that, you could probably get in there. Okay. The actual doorway has just over 24 inches of width. I'm going to the door jamb, the door lock here. Yeah, it's so the doors on these have about 24.5 inches of usable width, which pretty much mirrors the floor opening here, the lower pan. Yeah, I'm getting about 26 inches here on the floor width. So the good thing about these is they're lower to the ground than anything else you'll find. I don't even think that's a foot step up. As a matter of fact, why don't I measure it? Alright, the bottom of the vehicle is 10.5 inches from the ground at the doorway. And the step up looks to be about, I don't know, 13 inches. So, being close to the ground probably makes access to the doorway easier. The door itself is about 24 inches of usable space width. Now there is room to make a bigger door. I don't know how that would be done, but basically take the old door off, cut the hole bigger, and put a big door on, or a double door, or whatever. Now this one's been modified a little bit. Most of the Lesharos you look at are going to have a sink right here by the door, and it'll be real narrow to walk back to the bench. This one, the sink's not there anymore. As a matter of fact, there's nothing there that's in the way. So you could easily take this box out, and then you have room inside to move around. And normally there's a second row of seats here too. These have obviously been taken out. And if a person wanted to or needed to, you could also extend the floor out. For instance, this would just kind of give an example. If you needed to, you can make the floor, make that into a step up to the floor, which will be the same all the way throughout. So that's something to ponder. Or you could even get rid of the step. Now this isn't working out quite right, but put the floor all the way to the door. That way it's all one level here. As far as handicap accessibility to drive this vehicle, because the galley is currently behind the driver's seat, I don't know. If you took that chair out, it'd be a tight fit to get in there. And you also have the seat belt, the parking brake, and the floor shifter to contend with. So all those things can be moved, but if you had a technician doing that, I bet you they'd charge a good amount. It doesn't seem very practical. On that note, my other rig, the parking brake has been relocated to the left side of the driver's seat. And that gets it out of the way. The seat belts. Well, I suppose if you were going to roll a wheelchair in and lock it in place, you probably wouldn't need the seat belts, right? Or you can get seat belts that bolt to the chair if need be, or whatever the case is. The gear shifter, you might be able to get over that, or have it relocated or mounted up high. All that's just, linkage, which any gearhead or welder kind of person can do. So another negative on this unit for you is that the air conditioning's not working, and that would be a big expense. That would be uncomfortable if you're stuck in a wheelchair inside of here and you can't maintain climate controls. I'm kind of guessing this is not the unit for you, to be honest. These are generally, the Lesharos are great vehicles, but in your situation, I'd probably try to find one that had a V6 conversion. Don't go for the original. The 4-cylinders just, they're not reliable. But if you got a V6 in here, you're a lot better off. And just find one that has all the air conditioning and everything else intact. All of that can be repaired on this, but it would just be cost prohibitive unless you were doing it yourself. And I had intended to do all that with this, but this other one fell in my lap and I took it. And I have other things to do now than work on a second RV. So, here you go.